Welcome
Okay.
back to Briggs on Books, where we've been talking to people today from all over the country and all over the world. We were just a local California regional talk show till COVID came along and shut us down. We couldn't have guests anymore, so we had to learn a new way, and we discovered this thing called Zoom. Have you heard of it? But it's let us now. We talk to people all over the world. Just this morning, we had somebody from Leeds, England, Yorkshire. Yesterday, we had somebody from London, England. And today we have a guest all the way from Pennsylvania. Let's meet her, Karis Stefana. Did I get it right?
Hello.
We rehearsed it 20 times. Karis Stefana. K.A. Stefana is the
K.
name. The name K or K.A.?
Yep.
Okay.
K.
K.
K is Karis, and then Stefana.
All right. And she writes books, kind of romantic, kind of dark. Tell us about that.
So I write dark fantasy with a twist of romance. And a lot of people are like, what is dark fantasy? What I really love to do is look at, our inner soul. We have a choice. Can we go dark or can we be light? And so a lot of my characters are faced with these horrendous circumstances, and are they going to turn towards the darkness or towards the light? And so that's really the gist of the dark part of my books.
Okay. Now, and there's romance, hopefully.
Yes, there's always a little romance.
Speaking of the romance, who could read these books? Is it for everyone?
I would say, yeah, that, some of the situations are dark, but they're clean, in terms of what the book industry considers clean.
Okay. So teenagers could read them.
They could, yeah.
Housewives, even grown men.
Yep.
Because I'm going to read them,
Cool.
All right.
So,
Now tell us about the whole series. The new book, I think, is The Origins of Darkness, right? The Origins of
Yes.
Darkness. Tell us about the whole scheme here.
okay, so the Schatten Chronicles is about an evil king who is banished to the northern boundaries, and he is not able to leave that land, or he would fade away into the netherworld. So he develops a scheme to have daughters through these young maidens, and he haunts their dreams. So they remain innocent, but then all of a sudden they're pregnant. And so they have his daughters who are now free to roam in the lands where he cannot. And so their moral choice will be, will they follow their father's footsteps and destroy his enemies, or will they fall in love with his enemies and betray him and, go to the light side. And so that's the basic premise of the book. So in the Origins of Darkness, you're witnessing his fall, and you're starting to get introduced to the female protagonists. We have Catriona and Emmeline in the first book. And, they are the ones that will have the life choices of, do they go to the darkness or do they walk on the light side? So
Stay on the light side. I'm guessing they, I don't know, I'm not even a guess, but they could go a little bit in each direction, I'm sure.
So, yeah, and they take place in around about the 1100s in the Rhineland area of Germany. That's where the Schatten comes from. Schatten means shade. And so they're the people of the shade, so they're not necessarily light or dark. But they do have some superpowers, too. They have excellent eyesight and hearing. They can fade into the shadows and travel as a shadow. They can read minds, and they mate for life. So once they find their soulmate,
That's it.
They're connected
That's it.
for life with that person. And unless they're banished, where their memories would be wiped and they wouldn't remember who they are. So those are some of the cool features of the characters.
Now, if somebody reads this that is familiar with Germany, will they recognize some of the places?
Not really. It's not really meant to be, this is where I lived and I'm recreating it. No, but I chose that area because so many of the Märchen, the German fairy tales, come out of that region. So I just thought it was a great place to put.
That's a good fantasy land.
Yeah, yeah. And it also goes back to my time when I lived there and, able to speak the language, so I can kind of incorporate my life there and my life here into the books a little bit.
Now, I had the cover on the screen, The Origins of Darkness, but there's another cover here, the Book of Tears. Tell us what's the difference and what's the order we should read them and things like that.
Oh, so the Book of Tears is another series. I get to also write for Amazon on their platform called Kindle Vella.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about that. This is fascinating.
So this is where all my books start. They start as Kindle Vella, where you can follow me as I'm publishing episode at a time. And when I'm done writing the book, 30 days later, I can turn it into a book, a paperback, however I want.
Wow.
I can stick it exclusively with Amazon, or I could go wide and distribute the book. It's up to me. I just have to wait 30 days after I finish publishing. But the really great thing is, as a reader, you get to connect with me as I'm writing the book. You get to read chapter by chapter. Mm-hmm. You can leave comments for me, and your comments will actually help me, rearrange the story. If I kind of have gone sideways, I can fix something in real time.
Wow.
And so it's really an awesome way to connect with readers. And it makes me a better writer, too, because I'll hear instant feedback.
Well, they always
really
say
cool.
Get a bunch of people to read your book before you publish it. What a great way to get that accomplished.
Yeah, it is a really great platform. So I've been with Amazon doing that for about 2 years. Mm-hmm. And the Book of Tears is completely different. It's not part of this series.
Okay.
A little bit more mature audience for this one because it does deal with a lot of trauma. But, it's also in the paranormal realm where there are always relationships, but that's never the central point of my books.
Yeah. Now, tell me about the format again. It's called what? Kindle
Vella.
Yeah. Now, how many episodes would you have on there?
It depends what I'm trying to write. My books, if I'm going to go into book format, I try to keep them around 100 to 115,000 words. So it could be between 60 and 80 episodes. There are some books I will have that will go up to 200 episodes.
I'm absolutely excited about this. I'm going to go the second we get off the air, and I'm going to try to figure out how to do that because it sounds a little technologically advanced. I got to get a Kindle, or I have a tablet or something. But we could read it as you're writing it, as you're going, and then at the end we could get and read the entire book and see if it changed, what went different, if you took any of our ideas and things like that. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
And I always add bonus material when I jump to the book, right?
Nice. Yeah.
So, so the reader, if they read it on Kindle Vella, you're always going to hear more of, I wish I had done that in the Vella and didn't have a place to put it in, right? So I'll add more about the characters, stuff like that, maybe a sidebar.
Our producers are signaling me we've gone way over, but I want to hold you for another minute. You're so this is so fascinating, the whole thing. I'm going to put up on the screen some contact information for you. We have your Instagram, KA_Stefana. Is it 19?
Yes.
KA Stefana 19. Don't confuse her with the other 18. She's the 19th one. KA_Stefana is Instagram. By the way, I have interns and producers that go out and look for guests. I say, look for interesting people. Find me interesting people. And that's where they found you, is right there on Instagram. So I appreciate them and you. Now, there's also a web address. I looked at it right before. You could order books and things like that right on the web. Linktree, it's linktr.ee. linktr.ee/KA Stefana. And I said, that's not a web address. I clicked and it took me right to the web page. So it's easy to find. Yeah.
That's what a lot of the Vella authors use to promote our stuff.
Nice.
So.
Now, we're really out of time, but I want to give you a minute to say anything you want to our viewers.
Well, I just thank you so much for this opportunity. And we are re-releasing The Origins today. We did a book review tour. And so that's really exciting. We had new book covers, and I re-edited the book. And then on Halloween, I love to do Halloween book launches, and I have The Forgotten, The Realms of Darkness is coming out on Halloween, and it is in Vella right now. And so you can read it there, or, pre-order it when I put the links up for the Halloween launch.
Yeah. Well, the book cover is just beautiful, by the way. And
Thank you. I have to shout out to my Tom J, who's in Germany, who does all my book covers for me. And so,
every day we've got to decide what we're going to read next. And a cover and an interview like this, they really help me narrow down where I'm going to go next on my books. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
All righty. For our viewers, don't go anywhere. We have another author coming up right after this.